Dear Sati Devi ma'am, Deputy Director and Director in Charge in IT Calicut. Dr. Sati Devi ma'am, Deputy Director and Director in Charge in IT Calicut. Mr. Ismail and Ms. Manjari, Ms. Rehna, Ms. Jeena, representatives of the 1995 batch, which is celebrating the Silver Jubilee right now. Other dignitaries, members of the 1995 batch and their family members, senior faculty members who are all my dear teachers, a majority of them, my other faculty colleagues, good morning and warm greetings of the day. I consider it a privilege and honor to be part of the 1995 batch Silver Jubilee get-together, and thank you for the invitation. I must also apologize that I failed to recall the fact that this is the year, that is the year when you joined, I joined here as a faculty, 1991. By God's grace, on a 5th September, Teachers' Day. And I taught this class. The class of architecture from 1991-95 batch, I taught for the first time in my life. And since then, it has been a very fortunate journey for me, almost 31 years of teaching. I was in the class of all my beloved teachers all through these times until they were here. And by God's grace, here we are witnessing a row of get-togethers. This year we had WNM, World Nitka Meet, where we hosted all the 200 plus or around 400 participants for a whole day. We had two golden jubilees, 1971 and 72 batch were visiting us. That was also probably around 200 members each had come, 100 to 200. These are batches, 50 years is a long period. You may not have all of them active and ready to come for a reunion. And I must also tell that the first batch had already met here in 2022 once, and they want to meet one more time. And whenever they communicate with me discussing plans of reunion, they keep asking, we don't know how many more times we are going to meet at NIT Calicut, because life is taking a full cycle for them. They're almost 60 years old. I think, but the batch is strong, and in January again, I think around 30 plus people would come, relish their memories, and they have very strange requirements like keeping that part of the building open, that particular nook of the corner of campus open, because they were the only few places available at that point of time when institution had its humble origin. As I always say, alumni are the solemn and silent ambassadors of the name and repute of any institution. For 25 long years, you all have made us truly proud across the globe. And it's a very, very proud moment for any one of us to call ourselves as alumni of NIT Calicut. I have traveled to many countries, and wherever I go, I always connect to alumni, whether I am a dean alumni or not. That I have become only in 2022. And I see that the way people perform and the kind of positions and responsibilities they share is a matter of pride to all of us. And as Madam said, it is not 30,000, it is 38,000 alumni we have all over the world, and the numbers are still growing. And last time when I was in the US, I had been to Tesla, where the current batch junior, Nimi, is a employee. She's from architecture, and I found she is a strange element in Tesla where an architecture graduate has no role to play. But later I found out that Nagasri, another junior, is also, your junior, probably 2 years, is also in Tesla. So can you understand the strength of this alumni who have two architecture members in one of the seminal companies of the world, Tesla? And this story is true. Whether you go to Apple HQ in Cupertino or whichever place you go, you have your people doing great things. In Bay Area, when my batchmate gave me a dinner one night, I think it was around 28 people, and a Restvale principal with all his 3 daughters live in Bay Area. So in the most happening places of the earth, this alumni has enviable presence, and that's a matter of real pride for all of us. All of us And like never before, we realize the great value you have added to the institution's name and brand, and we remain indebted to you for the same. All of us look at the alma mater as something that gave us wings and for sure a good life for 25 long years. I found the Golden Jubilee batch people, when they came, they were all a happy lot. Their families were well brought up, their kids were brought up well, and they had traveled most parts of the world, and everything they sort of felt that they off to the place where they took off from, which is in the portals of this institution. So I think we all are quite warm when it comes to thinking of the institute and the backdrop it gave us to, spread our wings and travel the world. And I'm sure by now each one of you would have carved a niche in professional standing or in your entrepreneurial ventures so that you will lead a life of repute and accomplishment, and everywhere the tag that you are an alumnus of NITs, it will pave your way to be easy and smooth and sometimes challenging and then rewarding. Sometimes you will compete with an IIT alumnus, right, where you have a little bit of tough going, but then in the end when you emerge a winner, probably you would see that it's doubly rewarding. The fact that you chose to and found the time to assemble here, traveling long distance in itself is a testimony to the successful life you have had and the spirit you share. My kudos to the same, the spirit that you share. Alumni can provide us invaluable insights on a row of things. In the recent story of institution building, as it is being perpetuated from the top tier institutions like IITs and IIMs, alumni have a lot of role to play. Getting your guidance in the conduct of academic programs, bridging the gap between academia and practice, bringing in interdisciplinary inputs, earning exposure to cutting-edge technology, helping to mentor students to be aware of emerging opportunities, and getting support in institution building are a few to mention. IITs, IIMs, and many of the NITs have set excellent role models in this regard, and we are also on a path to be on similar lines. We are doing a lot of things to enhance the scope of activities that the Dean Alumni and Corporate Relations Office is doing lately. In this line, if I talk, we have Nora, who belongs to the 2018 batch, who works in Deloitte in London. She has coordinated a mentorship program whereby around 680 of potential mentors from you are identified. Those who are willing, you also would have got a mail requesting for being a mentor. And then students were told like under what areas, who all are ready to mentor how many, and then students chose, and this system is working excellently now. Roughly around 500 plus students are being mentored by you guys who are currently students on career guidance, on institution, the activities they can do, the areas to specialize, whom to contact, which institutions to look forward when it comes to higher education. On all these things they take cues from many of you who are endless repositories of a lot of knowledge with your experience and expertise. As an institution, we are fortunate to have unprecedented alumni interaction and support, especially in the past few years. At the most critical time, like during the COVID times, and we thank the alumni for responding to all our calls on time with vigor and enthusiasm in helping us at crucial junctures. When our students were having online classes due to COVID restrictions, and many of the underprivileged students had a problem